Monday morning. Today we do have a special guest with us, Victor's sister, Ashleyum. But we do want to say that, sorry for being late again, but it was on purpose a little bit this time because Arrow got baptized this weekend. And we wanted to be able to talk about it with you. And then also, we were just really busy this weekend with the whole Easter and getting Arrow baptized. So.
And we decided we wanted to include Ashley in on the convo, so we had to wait. We were busy since you've been here, huh?
Very busy.
Yeah, we had to kind of like drag her into this, but she's here. So we're excited. And I don't know what our first topic's going to be.
Well, do you want to talk about the baptism or what?
We can talk about the baptism. Okay, so the baptism went really well. Arrow was so great through church. Didn't you guys think?
He was freaking perfect.
Yeah.
And he even sang. He smiled.
Yeah, he did. He didn't cry at all. I mean, we were in the front row too, so like there wasn't really... I was like, felt like eyes were on us, right? Because we were right there, so I'm like, please be good. But he was so good.
I think everybody was just looking at him because he was so sweet. He literally was like, he knew like right when to smile at everybody and everything. He was sweet. And
I looked over at Ashley and I was like, he's such a little ham. And she like looks at me like, I'm like, he's like cute. And then she's like, oh yeah, but she's never heard of this saying he's a little ham. So I was like, wait, I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, is that something I made up? Or you know what that is?
You don't know what that is?
I never heard of that. But I'm not... English.
She was looking at me like, "What is like? What's wrong with you? Like ham? Like he's a ham? I'm like he's cute." And she's like, "Yeah."
And a ham just means like good name. I don't know what.
I don't even know exactly what it means.
I would say it means like, yeah, just like sweet, like smiley, happy. Like yeah. That's what I would say when it's saying he's a little ham.
I was literally thinking about a chunk of ham.
Yeah, she's like, and I repeated it once. I was like, well, maybe she's never heard of that before.
And you're like, cute. And I'm like, oh yes, he's very cute.
Well, the new thing, what you guys say sometimes, though, I'm trying to get used to it, is like when a little cheeseburger.
I say hamburger because
hamburger.
The reason I say it is because I'm like always calling him a little ham, but then you add stuff on. I'm like, what a little hamburger.
And then I always think it's his little round face with his little smirky smile that you call him like that for, and I'm just laughing. But I'm getting used to it already now.
Yeah, the names you call your kids, you just never would ever think that you'd call them that. But yeah, the baptism was great and like so thankful for everyone that showed up. Ashley and Tito came up from Jacksonville, and then I had a pretty good turnout because it was we still kept it pretty small, but a good turnout from my mom's side and my dad's side. So that was really nice. And
Ashley gave up. How hard was it for you to give up Easter with your kids to come up here?
It was hard. It was definitely a sacrifice, but I'm glad I was here because he was freaking perfect. It's like everything aligned. It even snowed when I came up here.
She wanted it to snow. Let's be clear.
It was so pretty. Like literally, we drove up and it snowed that night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about what I'm going to ask her that. I'm going to text her tomorrow and ask her what she thinks of that, because when they leave today, it's supposed to be snowing 100%. We're supposed to get like 2 to 4 inches. So I'm wondering what they're going to think of, because they have a 2.5 hour drive back to the airport. So I'm going to text her tomorrow and ask her what she thinks of the snow.
But as long as it's melting when it hits the road, you'll be fine. It'll just be pretty. I don't think it should be messy, hopefully.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, because I don't know how to drive in the snow.
So do you still do Easter baskets for your kids? Did you do them before you leave, or will you do it, or you don't do that?
I usually do an Easter egg hunt. And since I have so many kids of different ages, I just do like color coordinate them. So I'm like, okay, you have the yellow eggs, you have the green eggs.
That's cool.
And we usually do it like that. But
so then you can hide like Liam's maybe a little bit easier than Victoria's.
Yeah, the only bad part is that when Liam finds another egg, he's like, hey, I found a purple one.
He helps them out.
Yeah.
Do they get frustrated if they can't find their eggs?
No, they're pretty good at looking for them. I mean, they find them pretty quickly. It takes about 10 minutes. I'm like, well, all that preparation for 10 minutes.
Do you do inside and outside?
Just outside.
Oh, yeah. See, because it's cold here usually, Mom had to hide everything inside, but then a couple times we got to do it outside, but it was still kind of cold. But I'd love to be able to be outside and do it. When we were younger, outside it was warm.
I honestly think, Nicole, that this is the first year that I can remember that we never colored any Easter eggs.
I know.
And here it was Arrow's first Easter.
So but I just think of everything as toxic right now since I have a baby. Like, the coloring, is it toxic? Like, I don't want him to put it in his mouth. Like, It's just freaks. I'd rather just avoid it right now. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, and I was actually thinking, like, if I run into the store and they got the half off decorations, I might still buy some. So
no, you know what I saw they do for kids? You get, like, Cool Whip, and then you add like food color dye, and then you can put it in like, you can roll the egg and like that. So something that's like you could put in your mouth and it's fine, or you can put it in a baggie and then roll it. So I think that's what a lot of people are doing this year with their babies. I don't know. He just has such sensitive skin. I'm like, I'm not even.
Well, I mean, even when we didn't have babies, we still colored eggs. That's like us ourselves. That's what I'm saying. I think like this is like the first year that I have not. I think it was because it was his baptism weekend and we were just extra busy.
Okay, it was just Ashley's birthday, and then Victor's birthday's in like 3 days, and I do not have a gift for him. Like, things are just sneaking up on me. I'm being really bad. Being a mom is like, it's like I don't have my calendar figured out at all.
And I just figured it out. What was it? Yesterday,
Yeah.
I said Victor's birthday's in like 4 days.
Yeah, and I know when his birthday is, obviously, but I thought I still had 20 days. I did not realize it's already like middle of April. So, anyways,
I already got his gift. I'm the good one of the group.
Do you want to tell them what it is?
Yeah, it's a mug. Maybe it's like a thermos that says "There's no better gift than having a sister like me," and it's the truth.
Yeah, you'll like that. It's funny.
It follows our sense of humor.
Yeah. And I do his gift. I did end up ordering it, so my gift will be in here tonight. So he'll get mine on time.
And he wants to really go to this. Gosh, I forget what kind of food place it is.
It's Brazilian steakhouse.
Yes. So that's what I'm going to take him to, at least that on his actual birthday. I just don't know. Hopefully we can, I don't know, me, Arrow, and Victor will at least go. Hopefully you guys can join us, but I know Dad's got work.
Might just be me.
But he's been wanting to do that, and then I might take him to Menards or something after and say pick out some tools, because he wants some lawn tools, and every time I pick out tools for him, it's like the wrong one. Like, he wanted gas versus electric, or electric versus gas, or whatever. So I'll just be like, hey, I mean, he's 31. I think we're at the age where I'll get him a really... You can kind of
say what you want.
Yeah, and I'll get him a really thoughtful, like, card and maybe one, like, small thing, but let him pick out what he wants, because I don't want to have to send stuff back, you know?
Yes, sending stuff back is a pain. Even though it is easy, especially from Amazon, but it's still a pain. You like load them all up in your car.
Ashley gets Amazon stuff in one day. We have to wait the 2 days at least. But you're next
Sometimes
to like a warehouse.
Same day. Yeah,
like,
there's
that's
like
crazy.
3 warehouses. We're on.
See, that's like that would be very addictive.
It's really bad because I'm sending stuff back like all the time.
Can you do Whole Foods through that too? Like grocery Whole Foods, don't they do that?
They do have that. I've never tried it.
Oh yeah, because I mean I would probably try that if I could. We just do Walmart or Meijer grocery pickup, but not even to have to leave your house. I would be like, all right.
I do Publix delivery.
Oh,
and
nice.
they bring the food. Yeah, it's so bad. It's addicting not having to leave your house.
Is Publix like the #1 grocery store, like in your area?
It's the most expensive.
It is.
I think Walmart's #1 everywhere.
Okay.
Because Publix is where we shop when we go to Florida.
But it is.
But it does seem more pricey, kind of like...
But it's a nice experience.
And they have like really cool stuff that they don't have, and it's fresh, it seems like. Yeah. Everything, we like going there. So it's kind of like our vacation grocery store.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, because I see them everywhere, like Publix everywhere.
But not in Michigan.
No, I meant in Florida, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think they have them in Georgia, too. Publix.
Mm-hmm. So for Arrow's baptism, I do want to say that we picked the best cake ever. I got it done locally at Murphy's Bakery, and I did a filling. So I did a cherry cake with Bavarian cream filling, and then I did a vanilla cake with blueberry filling. It was so good. So good. Never had it before. Just went in there super hungry one day, and I was like, can you guys do this? And they're like, yeah, sure, we can try it. But it was fabulous. So good. But when I do eat, like, a lot of desserts, I do get bloated. So we are thankfully sponsored by Bloom Nutrition, and I want to talk about it for a second with you guys. So it makes it really easy and delicious to give your body what it needs to feel its best. So their greens and superfood powder blend fights bloating. It helps digestion. It increases natural energy, and it keeps your skin glowing. It's packed with over 50 nutrients, including whole fruits and veggies, fiber, probiotics, antioxidants, and more. And it's in one easy to drink formula. You just like mix it with water or a smoothie, and you just add it to your daily routine. It comes in 4 different flavors: coconut, mixed berry, citrus, and original. And it's made for you. So whether you're recovering from like dessert or a big meal, a night out, or you're into fitness, it just helps you feel better every day. So right now, Bloom Nutrition is offering our listeners 15% off your purchase of their greens and superfood blend when you go to bloomnu.com bloomnu.com/Coco. Let me spell that for you. BLOOMNU.com/COCO for 15% off your purchase. Go to bloomnu.com/Coco for 15% off. So what do you think so far, Ashley, of this is our first time not to Michigan, but to our little town. Victor's going to take her around today to see the full town, which will take like 5 minutes. But what do you think?
I love it. I saw so many deer yesterday.
Did you?
I've never seen that many deer in my life.
Yeah, we took last night. We went for
how was that?
Yeah, we went for last night and I showed her where Jesse's
What'd you guys drive?
property is. We drove the old 97 Suburban.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dad's old truck.
No, we went in that. And Nicole and Victor and Arrow stayed back, and it was me, Dave, Jesse, Ashley, and Tito. We all went and just took them around the country.
It was so nice. Jesse's shed looks like a whole like loft apartment.
Yeah, it's
like,
nice, right?
A bachelor pad.
She said she would have never moved out of it.
I would have never moved out. That's so cozy. I love it.
Yeah. And then the dirt roads and stuff. Do you live near dirt roads at all?
No.
But Puerto Rico, she said, or like that, but even skinnier and windier.
Yeah,
so that's the thing is like you're basically, that's like the junk mom. Your phone went off.
I don't know how. I put on airplane mode.
That's okay. As long as you're still on Wi-Fi, it's fine. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, it's like a jungle, Victor said, like a jungle version of like a small town of like this. So
yeah, it's like wild.
I'm
this
excited.
is more tamed.
Yeah.
And it's flat. Over there, you don't know what you're going to encounter. You can't just go into the jungle, the rainforest.
she said, I'd like to have a home to come up here and visit. She said she really likes it.
Well, in the summer,
here.
it's so nice because you can just literally, you're just outside and you're making fun out of like really nothing. I feel like that's why I'm super easy to entertain too, because we don't have like all these attractions right nearby. Like when Arrow's a kid, it's not going to be like, oh, let's go to this big, like, what are they called? Like when you...
Bouncy houses.
Like the indoor stuff, all the indoor stuff, it's like, okay, guess go play in the dirt.
Or go fishing.
Go fishing, or let's go plant something. I don't know. I think it's good, though. But it's also good to have stuff nearby. So I'm just trying to say it's kind of a good thing, but it's kind of a bad thing not to have.
Pros and cons.
Yeah, like if you brought your kids up, I'd be like, oh, shoot, what do we...
I think that they'd have so much fun just exploring that they wouldn't even
and
miss
we have
out
a
anything.
pond. I bought Victor a kayak for Christmas, so with life jackets, that'd be totally safe.
My kids would probably just jump in and swim.
Yeah, probably.
We don't know the whole extent of how deep it is, how many fish are in it. I can't wait to throw a fishing pole.
Is there any alligators in there?
No,
okay.
They wouldn't live up here.
No, they need salt water.
The only thing that might be in there, though, we don't know. Like there could be snapping turtles.
There could be.
We have no idea, so that's why we're gonna get a paddle boat, and paddle boat around it, and kind of stick a fishing pole in there. We're gonna test it all out and see.
Everyone in Michigan is like, did that girl just say alligators? I'm from Florida. There's alligators in every body of water.
Oh God, if there is an alligator, no, I would never set foot in there if there was.
I think a snapping turtle would be the worst.
Yeah.
If there was, would be the worst. But
yeah, but I don't even know how you'd know. Do they stay above water?
I
don't know. We would see them at some point around the banks, I think. We'll have to ask Lori, the old owner. She would probably know what's in there.
I do want to put some more fish in there. Because anybody who ever went fishing, they have to throw the fish back. There's no fishing and then grilling the fish from my pond.
This is a fish. Jesse put a perch in there 2 days ago that he had caught. So I know there's one little perch swimming around in there. But I heard there's a lot of fish in there actually. So we'll have to...
Yeah, ask the previous owners like how you do, because you have to put the fish in there.
Yeah, but they catch them and release them, so they just like
and the fish mate, I guess. Duh, that's how there's more fish. I have no idea. I haven't been down there really. Tito went for a walk around there, and he said that there was the geese didn't bug him though, did they? But there's geese in there, and they can be mean sometimes. So we haven't even tried to go down there yet. Okay, so one topic my mom wanted to talk about, I guess, for me, Ashley, and my mom all had different experiences, like, growing up, and maybe you all can relate to, like, one of our experiences and just kind of talk about that, because they're all very different. So, for me, I was born and raised my whole entire life in one location, a really small school. Graduated with 64 people. Still live in the town that I grew up in.
One house.
My parents had the same like job lifestyle my whole life. And I loved my experience, I guess. I had the same friends from kindergarten. My school was literally, it's one building, which Ashley saw too, and she was like, wait, is that your whole school? Yeah, kindergarten through 12th grade, and still see my best friend from high school. I told Victor 2 days ago, I was like, I don't think you realize how close Jessica and I were. Like, we were voted most likely to be neighbors, like, most likely
You pretty much are neighbors.
Yeah, most likely to, like, remain best friends. And we, like, been friends since we've been, like, 5 or 4 or whatever. So, anyways,
it's so nice to see it's so nice to see that they both have kids now, and like they have the play dates
really rebonded since having kids, because when I went off to college and she stayed in this area, like that was a huge difference. If you grow up in a small town and then you kind of leave, it's just like a whole different world out there. And then not only did I just like leave, but then I went on like 4 TV shows in California and then traveled the world on one of them. So it gave me like a lot of insight that I would have never ever gotten. So I grew like a little bit one way, and then where she stayed in this area, and now I feel like I'm coming back to my roots a little bit, and like being a mom especially, where I'm just really grateful that I feel like, and I told my mom too, like she feels like home to me, and like just being back in this area and just being like with my, Victor moving here. I'm just grateful because I feel like this is a place where I want to remain. And it might seem boring to people. I remember I used to get a lot of crap from, people who watch me on the show. Like, you need to move to California. You need to get out a little bit more. You need to stop. It's like, no, this is my happy place. Like, this is my zen. I like to travel, but I love to come home.
And I would get messages. I would just like random messages, and I would be like, oh my gosh, they're like, you're holding your daughter back. You let her go and explore. I'm like thinking she's explored more than anybody I know, and she can do what she wants. She's a big girl. Like, just because
There's
loves
nothing
her
wrong
family.
with staying in a small town, though. That's kind of what I want to get out there. Like, a lot of people can't wait to move away or can't wait to do this, but it doesn't make you any bigger or better of a person. It's just whatever you prefer, right? And the people who move out to LA and they do amazing things, good for them. That's what they're supposed to do. But I definitely was not made for that life, and I experienced it, and I really will cherish those memories, but it's not something that I'm thinking about every day and like, oh, I can't wait to get back.
But yet we look forward to traveling and vacationing.
Absolutely. Like Florida trip, we're already on the countdown for next year. It's pretty sad. But no, we're going to Puerto Rico, and I'm going in August, so that's like we'll have 2 trips every year now. Florida and then Puerto Rico. And that's, yeah. Okay, so that's my experience. So if you can relate to that at all, and then which one of you want to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
So my dad was in the military, and we moved around a lot around the world. And it was really hard because we had to keep moving schools and leaving our friends, but I am grateful for it as well. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, right? I'm grateful because I became very savvy and very cultured, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I have cultural confidence, I guess is the word, because I, was able to experience a lot of different cultures and learn different languages and be able to meet people very quickly and see who I can trust and who I couldn't. But I really wish I had that experience that you had, your friend from when you were in kindergarten all the way to when you graduated. I do have really close friends. They're like family now, but it's hard.
Did you ever, like when you were little, do you remember any of like your friends' names to ever contact them?
Oh, I remember one girl. She lived in Florida, actually.
Oh, really?
And I tried to find her. Her name is, if you're listening, it was Alina Cramner. And I was like, man, I remember going to her house and having so much fun. I wonder if I can find her. I couldn't find her on Facebook or anything. But that's...
And that name, like, it's hard when you do look, because I look for people too. But, like, as you remember as a kid, sometimes you don't know if you have the spellings right or anything, because they have different names. And it's
or
like,
what they look like now.
How long does it take to, like, find somebody? And, like, sometimes I'm lucky with it and sometimes I'm not.
Yeah, I don't even know if she looks the same. I don't even remember if I remember, because, your memory is not, like, solid.
All right, who are my cat people out there? Because you know that I do take care of the stray cats, okay? And I do provide them a litter box. So I would have them in the house if Victor would allow me to, but right now he doesn't. But if you are lucky enough to have a cat inside or outside, This is for you. This is Kitty Poo Club, and it's the most convenient monthly litter box ever. Every month, Kitty Poo Club delivers an affordable and recyclable litter box that's pre-filled with the litter of your choice, so you can pick what exact type of litter you want. And that can matter, for my cats being outside versus inside, there's different things that would be better for them. And even if you have you need an extra large litter box, they got you. And you can easily customize your subscription at any time. You can add some toys, some treats, whatever makes your kitty happy. And when the month is up, you just recycle the used litter box, and the Kitty Poo Club will automatically deliver a new one to you. So right now, Kitty Poo Club is offering an awesome discount on your first litter box order and free shipping when you set up auto ship. So go to kittypooclub.com, www.kittypooclub.com, to save on your first auto ship order of litter boxes with free shipping. Be sure to let them know that Coco Caliente Podcast sent you there after you check out. That's kittypooclub.com. Thank you.
Okay, so tell us where you kindergarten all the way till 12th grade, where you went to school, from the beginning to the end.
So I went to school in Florida, in Virginia. I don't remember the exact grades, but Florida, Virginia, Italy, Panama, New Orleans, then Slidell, which are both in Louisiana. I went to school in Puerto Rico, and I think that's it.
Where did you go to your high school years?
Puerto Rico and Slidell and New Orleans.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. And Italy. So yeah, 4 high schools.
And which one did you graduate from?
Slidell. I graduated in Slidell.
So,
but it's a lot. It's a lot of moving around. It's hard, but like I said, I got to see a lot of different cultures. I appreciate what I have. Mm-hmm. The smallest things make me happy. But for my kids, I want them to be cultured as well. I want them to see other things, but I think it's hard just moving around, not having that stability. And I'm grateful for my father for dedicating his life, and he's in the military serving and protecting, but yeah, it was hard. It was hard for us.
And so far with your kids, they've started school and they're still at the same school, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's what you plan on trying to...
Yes. I want them to just stay in the same kind of community. If we get a great opportunity and, we move, that's fine. I'm not scared to move. I'm not, I'd like to be closer to family for sure. It's nice to have family around, but my mother-in-law does live in Jacksonville, so that's nice.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, and I had kind of the same as Ashley, except for all in Michigan, so it wasn't it isn't the same because I wasn't but a lot of moving around with,
because you don't have
not
cultural
the stability.
Confidence.
No, I just meant the friend part, having to make new friends all the time, and it sucked. That's how I feel. But 3 of the schools I went to now, the towns are close, but 20 years ago, you didn't feel you didn't drive around like you do now. So it was a big deal.
Or see people on social media.
Yeah, or anything.
You have to go to the town to literally meet the people in the town.
So I lived in the city until I was in 3rd grade. And then my mom and dad bought a house and moved to Pontiac. And that was their dream house. We only lived there I went 4th grade, half 4th grade, the summer, and then half of 4th grade, and my dad died. So that was our dream house and our new beginning, and it was kind of in the country, but kind of it was in a subdivision that was in the country of a city, and it was just so nice. It was we were all really happy. And so then when my dad died, my mom was from up here, and she had 3 little kids at that point. So she came back up here, and we moved in with my grandma. So then from there, I switched schools. In 4th grade, I went to, which almost all the same schools. 4th grade, I went to Ubley the rest of the year. Then 5th and 6th grade, I went to, this is going to be hard to remember. 5th and 6th grade, I went to Deckerville. 7th grade, I went to Sandusky again. Then 8th grade, I came back to Deckerville. 9th and half of 10th, I went to Sandusky again. And then from 10th till I graduated, I came to Ubley. So they're all right here, but I had to bounce back between them, and it was hard because you didn't have social media, and the way we kept up with friends was writing letters in the mail. So by the time you left, they had their own groups again, so you didn't have, it was trying to fit in constantly, and I hated it. Even though Ubley was very welcoming, so I'm glad I graduated from here, but I'm jealous of going to the opportunity to play sports. You couldn't even do that kind of stuff because you moved around too much. And we actually lived far, like from Ubley, we lived 15 miles because we lived over by Minden. So I wouldn't have had a ride even to be in anything. So I just stayed home, and I don't know. We never lived in towns. We always lived in the country. So that's why
you
I
had to ride the bus.
Yeah, for an hour every day.
Which was torture. And I know the girls who tortured my mom, if you're listening to this.
So that was on the Sandusky bus, yeah. But anyways, hint, hint. But anyways, no, I'm like things that people think are like, when you're new, everybody likes to pick on you. Like, it's just weird.
I was new
You
all the time.
you would actually, like, I would call that like extreme bullying way back then. Now, because I didn't even know that word back then, but it's like, oh my goodness, like
Back
literally.
then it was a rite of passage.
But on the buses, especially, you're the new kid on the bus. They're so mean. I don't know. People be nice to kids on buses and be really nice to new kids. And did I not pressure you to be nice to new kids?
You did. So I always had lunch. If there was a new kid, I always invited them to lunch, like no matter what. And I remember, and I just thought that was normal, but my mom really enforced it on me, probably because she saw herself in the new kids. She's like, and I felt sorry for the people that were new and had no friends yet, because you obviously have to make friends. So they always did. And I know that sounds like, okay, Nicole, but I really did. Like, and I only ate lunch with, I didn't care if I didn't have a ton of friends, but I did, like, was just nice to everybody. But it was just me and Jessica would just eat lunch by ourselves. I didn't need, like...
Not until, like, 11th and 12th grade. Before that, you were in a big group of eating lunch.
Big groups of eating lunch. But I'm saying, like, it wasn't, like, whoever you ate lunch with wasn't... I wasn't, like, cliquey, I guess, if that makes sense. Because there can be cliques in small towns, for sure. But I think I was very welcoming. And to this day, like, even the people who I was welcoming to, they're still appreciative. And I just was young and at that time didn't realize, like, what a difference it made for them. So if you can do that, too. And what's kind of crazy is we would have lunch with, like, third graders, you know, because it's K through 12. So you'd see all grades. And there was even... kids that like were sitting by themselves that were like younger that I would just like go sit by, you know, if I felt like, oh, maybe they're having a bad day or they have no friend or they looks like they have no friends and they're sad. Like we would just pop our trays there and be like, hey, how are you today? You know, like you could do that because we all eat literally lunch together. It's hilarious.
What would you do in a situation if they said, I want to eat by myself, get away?
Then I'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like I'll scoot down. But no, most of the time, like you could tell that they just looked like kind of sad or they're like staring at other people or whatever.
And I did, and that's why I really, really encourage both Jesse and Nicole to be nice to people who don't have anybody to be partners with, like for a project in their class, or
even if they don't want to do anything in the project. That's probably why they don't have a partner.
But I mean, I definitely
they're just like I'm not doing anything.
But I like encourage them to the new kids. But I remember I'm like one specific girl, and it was like 7th grade when she came to Ubley, and Nicole told me about her, and I said, you need to invite her to lunch. She goes, Mom, she's a little mean and a little scary. She says, you don't know what she says in gym. She looks at everybody and says, F you. And sticks up her middle finger. I said, well, still just invite her. So because she said she was by herself. I said, still, even if she's sassy, but that girl to this day is still just sassy. That's just how she is. But you run into her and she's not harmless and as nice as can be. But it was just like, Nicole was like a little bit scared.
It was her defensive. She was defensive because she was used to being like teased a lot and stuff. And so she would just like, she really wasn't mean. She just was trying to scare everybody so that way they wouldn't mess with her, I guess. I don't know.
But she came over to our house plenty of times and went with us plenty of times, places. And and it was like still, she's sweet as can be when I see her anywhere. And it's just, it's just funny, like thinking about it. I'd be like, you just still ask her if she wants to eat with you.
Yeah, I did. It was nice. But, so then you did not want that for us at all.
I did the total opposite. I mean, now
Same house for 30, how long have you been in your house? You've been married for how many years?
We bought that house in 1990. So what is that, 32 years?
Yeah.
Been in the same house. Now I'd be willing to move into a house that's one level now instead of like the stairs just as we're getting older and stuff. Now Dave, I think, is more emotionally attached to everything than me because he'll say he's going to, we can sell and we'll get a smaller house.
You guys really should sell, though, because you guys have stairs. Like, you guys don't have even a bathroom on the main floor. Like, you have to go upstairs. And I just think with you guys, not that you guys are old yet, but I just think that that's something that would stress me out if you live there your whole life.
I just think we could get to something just a lot less maintenance, especially with the shed and all that stuff.
You have a lot of land too.
Yeah, I think I would like to just get to something a lot less maintenance, and I'd actually like it to be something so low maintenance that, say, because we really want to like leave for like at least 4 months out of a year. And so it would be nice to have something so low maintenance that Jesse or Nicole can just check on or keep. Nicole's like, heck, I'm going with you when you go for 4 months.
I was already thinking like, okay, how could I do schooling for Arrow in those 4 months?
But Florida is where we would like it. Is where we would come for. That's where we want to get a place
you'll be
for
a snowbird.
Yeah, that's what we'd like to do.
That's what I'd like to do too.
Oh, I got a funny story about Dad when you just brought that up. Victor, so we're driving in the car, and my mom was a Beanie Baby collector. I don't know if anybody out there was. Were you?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So we would wait in like the Hallmark lines in the early morning, whatever, when the new one would release. So my dad's just been talking about these Beanie Babies and Beanie Buddies here and there throughout, I'd say the last like 20 some years, because Mom's got them all like in really good condition, boxed up in
Tag protectors.
Yeah, like in the basement. So Victor, the other day, I'd say like this was like 2 weeks ago maybe, was, Googling. Oh, we were on the way home from a craft show and was like Googling how much Beanie Babies were worth, and then he found some that were like $250,000 and all these things. So my dad was like listening to this. So right when we get home to my parents' house, he goes in the crawl space, brings up the big tubs, is like, Victor, I'd love to see if any of these are worth anything.
Oh my gosh,
there's so many. And I'm
know.
like going through them, and my dad's like, Nicole, you're being rough with them. Like, you're being too rough. I'm like, no, I'm not bending anything. But he's like, okay, Jenny, you gotta go through all these, set them all up nice on the table. We'll see what we can get for them.
Well, he said, you spent all my paychecks on these beanies. See if you got one that's worth something. Because when Victor was showing all of them, Nicole's like, you have that one, you have that one, you have that one.
Yeah.
And I'm just laughing
But
they'll say like mistake in the tag. I said, oh my gosh, Dave, if you want me to look up every one of these, I said, I need like a whole week. I said, please carry them. So he carried the bins and put them down on a bed in the basement. Now I'm like, you got to give me like time when I have time, and I'll go through every one of them and check the things out. And
he's like, let's just say we'll sell them all for $10,000. Dad's just like, get your money back.
He's like laughing because we have a cemented crawl space, and I have bin after bin, and they're like in perfect shape in there, weren't they, when you pulled them out?
You didn't let us like play with them. There was a couple that you did, and the tags are missing, so that's the one that's worth $250,000.
But they're like, well, them are probably ones that you guys got for your birthday or something. They're probably not ones that out of my collection. I'm sure you guys got your own for different things, but it was just funny though. But I want to go dig out Nicole's toys and stuff from when she actually like. I'm totally jumping around, but she got so much baptism gifts yesterday. Like, I'm like, oh my God, you guys got that when you were baptized. You got that too. And they're all in bins down in the crawl space. So I'd like to pull out some of their stuff and see.
I was thinking about that. What do you do? So I got Arrow this like globe that says like, my baby, and then Arrow, Victor Royal the Fourth. And I'm just thinking, like, he's going to get to the age where he's like, Mom, I don't want this in my room. And I'm like, well, obviously you can't throw it away. Like, it has your name on it. So then you just, like, do you just stash it all, like, in somewhere that they might want someday again? You know what I mean?
I saved everything. So that's what, I have everything under the crawl space. I want to start digging some out, especially the clothes. And it'd be cute to see Arrow wear some of Jesse's little clothes.
I don't save anything. I'm the type that I just want to throw everything away.
That's where Victor's like that.
He threw away. Did you know that he threw away all the cake this morning?
Both of those big cakes.
I'm the same way. I don't know
Nicole got them right back out.
I did. I got them out of the garbage
and froze them. Well,
they were in the box still.
They were in a box, and they were in a brand new. He literally took both, and they were like such delicious cakes. He took both boxes and took a brand new trash bag and put just those two in and tied it, so it was easy to get out.
You can't leave cake out on the counter. I'm like, yes, you can. And then I was like, you leave your pizza out. That's worse. And you eat that. He's like, well, he throws everything away.
He goes, I'm not a cake eater. I don't know.
He throws away my shoes. He throws away anything that he thinks is like garbage. He just hopes I don't remember. And then I have to rebuy it.
So now if he throws away stuff that Nicole has to rebuy, she said, sending you a Venmo request. You're like, especially for the pets. He throws away all the stuff for the pets.
Yes, he does. It drives me nuts. He threw away my heated water dish for my cats at the other house, and he just threw it away. And then I'm like, well, "You're buying me another one."
He's a minimalist. If he sees it hasn't been touched in a week, he'll throw it away.
It was being used.
Now we're worried about, we don't know where the garden hoses went. We're hoping
he threw away our
He's like, I
garden
gotta buy garden hoses, and
I bought two.
Well, Dad said the one that he gave you was a $120 hose, so he hopes it's still at your other house.
That's what I'm saying. It's not. He just throws stuff away.
Why would he throw away the garden hose?
Because
if
it's just
in its
sitting
way,
there.
he just literally, he goes to the dump and he takes everything from the yard.
He goes to the dump a lot. I think he even told you guys when you were going to church, he goes, "Yeah, that's the dump I love to go to."
He does.
He's like, "It's free. I just dump stuff all
And he does it early in the morning when like
nobody's watching.
Because if he knows if me, Dave, or Nicole are watching, we will be stopping it.
Well, he's done, you know what he's done on a couple occasions? He'll just, on accident, just think something box is empty. And it will have, like, a bunch of my, like, say, like, clothes or something in it. So I take pictures and I say, just 2 days ago, I took a picture before you guys arrived. I said, "Do not touch this box or this box. It's in the garage." But those are full of things that I haven't even opened yet for my boutique. But he would take it to the dump.
Yeah. He is, and I'm not, he goes and hooks up to our wagon.
It's funny.
It's a big, I'll show you the wagon today, and he fills it. And he goes to the dump. I'm like, "You don't even have no junk. I don't know what you're throwing away." Like,
he does like, and I'm not, obviously, look at my house, like a minimal, I like things to like be on the walls, and like I like lots of color, and he just wants like, I don't know. And so I try to, like,
he wants a plant and a chair.
Yeah, that's it. Right. So we're trying to like kind of compromise on like that type of thing. But we do get a lot of, with my job, I do get a lot of things sent to us. So I've been doing a lot of giftings and just like gifting them away on social media, or so that way it's not like just sitting in the house. And he's been thankful for that, because it's like I can't even keep up with all of this stuff. But that's like right now what I'm doing. But he's so mad about the boutique. I heard him say to you this morning, "Yeah, that's the downfall. She has to store all the merchandise." I'm like, "Yes, Vic, I do." He's like, "You need someone else to do that for you." I'm like, honey, I cannot do that, because I would not I'd be losing a lot of money if I'm paying somebody else to like store it, and that
makes it more special.
I like to, I like to like look at orders,
because right now it's like
fun.
Still like, definitely
they couldn't afford that.
Definitely could not afford to have anybody do the work but us. Like, we have to do it.
So, okay, well, anything else?
And your house is beautiful, by the way.
Thanks.
Because the way you made it sounded like it was a big clutter.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, it's gorgeous.
Thanks. Yeah, it's very colorful.
Yeah, I love it.
And how did you like the guest room that we got ready for you? Is it comforting?
I absolutely love it. It's comfortable. The pillows, we need to find out where you got them.
Yeah, Tito said he was looking in the pillow. I gotta know what pillows you're talking about. Maybe I need to move those to my room.
They're those ones you bought right before Christmas when we were going to stay in Jesse and Ashley.
Okay.
They're, I think, gray underneath. I'm trying to remember where we got them, but yeah,
And Tito said that if you ever want another job, you can be a decorator, home decorator.
Oh, that's nice.
Did you think
that? Oh my God, I want everything she has. I'm going to take pictures of everything.
But in that room, did you think it was old lady-ish, or did you think it was
like country
comfortable?
Cozy?
We thought it was Easter.
Like
an Easter
but
thing.
Yeah, because it's really like bright.
Yeah, so I was like, she got it, it's seasonal. That's so nice.
No, it's not. But maybe we can change something up in there. That's the quilt that my mom made me for my wedding shower.
That's the first time I got put on the bed, is when you
So
guys are
I
there.
really wanted it in my room, but Vic said that was a hell no, because it's got flowers on it. But I love the quilt, and it's really special to me, so it's something that, like, I will maybe... I just thought I
picked everything out, and then I got it sewn, yeah.
So I just thought maybe, Jamie helped you with that, right? Mm-hmm. But anyways, I just thought that it would be a good place to put it, but I do understand it could be Gramish, because I got a lot of messages on my social media saying, it's the quilt. But I love the quilt. Like, if that could be my room, I like that room more than I like my room, because I don't like white walls. I don't like neutrals. But Victor was like, you got to at least give me a white bedroom. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And so Then now, though,
you got one wallpaper wall in there, so it's not plain
it's
at
not
all.
plain. It's still really pretty, but I'm just saying, like, I just like, I don't know, I like color. And Ashley was like, did you or Tito say that you guys painted it pink? It didn't come like that, right?
That was Tito.
Everyone thinks I'm crazy with the pink. There is too much pink. Like, this office should not be pink.
I think it looks really good. Yeah, you can't change it. No, you got pink feather lights. You're keeping it pink.
It's pretty, but it's just a lot of pink. I understand that. Oh,
it is a girl's office, so it's okay.
Yeah, it is.
I like it. I think you should just leave it.
Me too.
Oh, and the basement's all white now, so that's good. That's like the man cave.
That's a big man cave.
I know.
You better claim half of that.
Well, that's coming soon, but
we Victor don't know. We do gotta get we were thinking about, so the previous owners, anybody local listening to this, they left a huge, like, it's really nice and we really want to keep it. We just literally think we can't. Is it called a craps table?
Yeah.
And how big would you say that thing is? Like,
it's enormous.
Like
it's like a
tent.
regular
Is it bigger
size.
than 10? It's like a casino size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone in the area is interested at all in maybe purchasing that, because I'll get a hold of the previous owners of the house and make sure that they don't want it first. But like, I don't even know anybody that has that. Like,
well, like Victor said, it's a really cool
It's really
statement
nice,
piece. Like,
yeah.
but if we used it once a year, and we don't know how, so that's even the thing. Like, maybe we'll have one kind of thing before, but
we're going to be having like Arrow's first birthday down there and stuff, and so I want to be able to maybe decorate like that space for Arrow and not just be, But yeah, if you have any use for anybody is thinking about it, I don't know, because it's
enormous.
So big that you'd have to have a really big space too. Maybe like a shed though. A lot of people have like you know how Jesse has his shed. Like a bachelor pad type shed where maybe
I think
like
even
that.
putting that in Jesse's shed, it would take up half that room, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's big. It's like
that's
a
the thing you
standard.
don't realize. Like once you just don't realize. But I thought about maybe in the basement if we put it onto that one where it's just taking up that a lot of good space
right out the door.
Yeah,
but they used it a lot, I think, or they were like. That was something that was like...
I think they only use their
idea.
basement for parties and stuff like that.
It's a great idea because it's a nice setup. You
It's
can
so
totally
nice.
do like a casino night down
That's
there.
what I was wanting to do for like New Year's. I was like, we'll have a New Year's casino theme-based party every year. But I was like, okay, that's only once a year. And we didn't even do it this year. So I don't freaking know. But okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you guys want to join our Facebook page, it is Coco Caliente Podcast. It's a private group on Facebook, so ask to join that. My mom is taking over. We'll see if she posts today. The Coco Caliente Podcast Instagram.
As soon as she gives me the password and sign up on my phone, I will take over that. So,
I got to reset the password because I don't know what it is. Okay, and that's it. That's it, I think. So thank you guys so much. Bye.
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 If you want to be the most interesting person at the cocktail party, well, hop on over and listen to the Brain Candy Podcast.
Our award-winning content will have you laughing while you're learning.
We read all the best articles, books, and studies and keep up with new TV shows, documentaries, and pop culture. And then we cram it all into 2 shows a week.
Conspiracy theories, cannibal rabbits, unsolved mysteries, the history of the Walkman. There's something for everyone.
The Brain Candy Podcast. Find our link in the show notes.
Or simply search for the Brain Candy Podcast on your podcast app.